Hey everybody, and welcome back to My Unprocessed Life. I am on the road, headed back to Birmingham, leaving the Music City behind me and headed back home. Gonna see the kids today and my wife, and I got some family coming in, so it'll be a nice busy weekend for me. Should be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to getting back and drinking some green juice. For the love of God, I'm ready for some green juice. Never thought I'd feel that way, but I do. It makes me feel better. And honestly, I've felt pretty crappy this entire week. It hasn't been unmanageable, but it's pretty much like I always used to feel before I started eating healthier versions of food. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the raw food train, quite honestly. It's a little bit more work as far as preparation goes, but man, the way you feel, it's so much better. It's just stupid better. So, kind of looking forward to that. This morning, I had a bagel with some mashed up banana on it, and then for lunch, I stopped and grabbed some vegan pizza for the road trip. And I have pictures of it up on Instagram in case you want to check it out. Just did a mushroom black olive with vegan cheese and then a veggie with vegan cheese. So I don't have to stop and try to find, something in the, right off the highway or something like that. So, got that done. Then I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight, but I'm looking forward to whatever it is, whether it's orange juice or veggies or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking forward to it. So, it's been an eventful week. It hasn't been a great week because I just haven't really felt well because I haven't eaten well, and that's because I didn't prepare well. It all comes together. I had the sinuses blockage and it kept me from sleeping well, and just, it's not a terrible week, but I got so used, excuse me, I got so used to going to sleep and being able to sleep through the night with no problems, and so used to just feeling good and energetic and so forth, and now I feel a little sluggish and tired. I haven't. The summary on the week is that even eating cooked vegan food, you don't feel as good as you do when you're eating more raw fruits and vegetables. That's just the bottom line. The raw fruits and vegetables, they don't give you the same emotional release that the cooked food does. And there are a lot of scientific reasons behind that, and you can go look it up if you want to. But, in the main, I'm beginning to discover that as much as it's enjoyable on the onset to eat cooked food, even vegan cooked food, it doesn't have the same rejuvenating effect that raw food does, that food that's fresher has. And I know the scientific pieces of it can be argued back and forth, but I think what it all boils down to is how do you feel once you've gotten to a point where you're eating healthy things or non-healthy things. How do you really feel? How is it affecting you? If you're enjoying it and you're got lots of energy and so forth, that's one thing. If you are struggling, that's another. And I can tell you that from this last week, man, was there a lot of struggling. It wasn't, it wasn't unbearable. It wasn't, people do it all the time. People eat terrible, people make terrible choices for what they eat. I did for years and years and years. And it could be argued that this week I did that too. But if you need convincing, try it for a couple weeks. And I think you'll find that you just feel so much better. It's weird. You kind of expect, oh, well, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to really love it. And yeah, it tastes good. Like, you eat the cooked food and you're like, oh yeah, it tastes good. Then you don't feel so well afterwards and your digestion's not as good. And I think one of the problems, one of the challenges I have with been leaving cooked food behind is that I eat to solve other problems, and whether it's frustration or anxiety or enjoyment or boredom, any of those things I usually just feed myself. And that's kind of the way we grew up. You're not feeling something sad, here, have a cookie, have some of these baked goods. Here you're having a hard time, here medicate yourself with food. And I don't think that's anybody's fault. I think that as a society we do that on a consistent basis. Here, have some food, it will make you feel better. Well, of course it will. It's a drug, especially non-vegan cooked food. It is a drug, and so of course you're going to feel better. You got to think about it in terms of, oh, you're not feeling well. Here, have some cocaine. Oh, you're not feeling well. Take some heroin. And people think, oh, that's extreme. Well, yeah, it kind of is. But so is cooked food, non-vegan food, standard American diet. That's kind of crazy too. Kind of extreme, if you ask me. And a ton of doctors and nutritionists and people throughout the world, really. I'm not trying to convince anybody to do anything. I'm talking through this for myself. If you think that I'm out here making the case to try to convince you, you're wrong. I'm out here talking this out because that's what extroverts do. We talk through things. Sometimes we internalize them and we have the conversations in our brain, but in general, we talk them out. Whether or not there's anybody here, I'm just lucky because I've got you to be here with me while I talk through this stuff. Anyway, so I can tell you that I didn't enjoy the cooked food this much this week as much as I thought I would, and I can tell you that every time I've ever gone from a raw food diet to cooked food again, or from a vegan diet to a standard American diet, back and forth, I always feel worse. I don't feel better. But it doesn't stop you, because there's all of these memories of these euphoric highs that you had from eating food, and you enjoy it. Which leads me to the next challenge, which is the family that's coming in are not vegan, and they're going to bring in all of their dead animals to eat at the house. And that's a bit of a challenge, because now that Dylan's getting older, he's putting two and two together. And, he says, he told his mother-in-law's, he told his grandmother's boyfriend the other day, we don't eat animals. You have to kill animals to eat them. And that's right. And I'm glad that that I'm able to pass that on to my son, both of them, because I'm not sure that there's a more important thing in this world than compassion. And compassion is hard to truly have when you're taking the life from something. And I know that people disagree with me on this, and that's their prerogative. But I'm happy that my son makes that connection, and that he realizes that for us to eat animal products, we have to kill the animals first. And I do not believe it's an essential piece of life. I do not believe it has to be done. If we were pioneer folks 200 years ago and that was the only way to have food to eat, that's a different story. It's not that way today. And there's no reason that it has to be. The case can be made that it's healthier not to do it, with resounding results. So it's always a challenge for me because I have to kind of walk the fine line. I love having my family around, but I hate the friction that is caused when I have to explain to my son in front of them, no, you can't have this or you can't have that because we don't believe in it, because we believe it's wrong. And that's one of the biggest problems with this lifestyle, in my opinion, is that, and I say biggest problems, it's one of the biggest challenges. I don't think it's wrong. It's just that, you know, it takes a mirror and puts it up against society and says, you know, this is not what we want to be. And then society says, well, are you telling me that I am this? And, you know, when you hold up that mirror, a lot of times people don't like to see that mirror. And that's kind of a challenge. You know, I don't think people should kill animals. I don't. Do I think it's wrong? Yeah, I do. It's not necessary. Do I condemn the folks that do that? No, I don't. I was there for a lot of years. You know, it was the way I ate. So, you know, it'd be tough for me to say, oh, well, you know, you're a bad person for doing this, because it'd be somewhat hypocritical. But at least I've seen the light now, so it's easier for me to say, okay, I understand that you are not as enlightened as I am at this point, which I know sounds condescending, but that's not really it. It's that I don't know how to help make the case that needs to be made for people to understand the addiction that they have. Maybe someday I will. But anyway, it's been a long week and I'm ready to go home. Deal with whatever challenges may await me when I get there. But once again, thank you so much for spending time with me. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing with your time. So just hanging out with me and being a part of my day for a few minutes, that's special to me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed our time together, because, you know, I love our time together. So until next time, I probably won't do any more videos this week because I got family there. If we do any videos, they'll probably be over on our other channel, the Electronic Cliftons. But I'll be back Monday, and of course you'll get a couple videos Monday and next week and so forth. So until next time, have a great day. And like always, if you have any questions or comments down below, or of course you can email me at myunprocessedlife@gmail.com, or you can hit me up, on Instagram. That's myunprocessed.life at Instagram. Oh, well, I don't think they say at Instagram, but that's my username there is myunprocessed.life. You can find me there. I hope you had a great day. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you discover the truly best you. Until next time.